Sour apple?
I have a little bit of bad news I
That's
forgot to share with you guys, so I want to get this out of the way. It's like very small bad news, but it's really fucking annoying for me. Twitch sent
Are we
out.
okay with vegetables, not just fruits?
Oh, I know what it is. They said they're not keeping
tomato.
Episodes
So Twitch basically screwed all of the creators this week.
Corn.
So basically, they sent out an email, I think on Tuesday, that says you have 60 days to comply or we're going to do something. And basically, all of the things that are stored in the Twitch highlights, which is like how you save things past a 14-day period for non-partners or for a 60 or 90-day period for partners, all of your highlights that are in there, you are now, every single user is capped at 100 hours. And we have over 300 probably. Like if we have like 100 D&D games stored that are averaging at 3-hour period, that's 300 hours of VODs just in D&D. So all of those will be gone with, and they won't choose them based off of history. They're actually, they're going to automate the process based off of how many views they have and eliminating and deleting them based off of how little views first, all the way through to the higher viewpoint. So I have 60 days to offload about 300 hours worth of VODs.
What are you gonna do? Do you have storage space to store those?
Not on my computer, no. But I'm gonna try to see if there's some sort of automated export to YouTube function from there. And if that's not an option, I might have to talk with Mesh and see if we can come up with something.
Oh, to put them on YouTube, yeah.
So anyways, what I will be doing is I'm gonna prioritize getting all of the VODs off from Icewind Dale because it's a completed thing. And then I might just see where I'm at after that, and then try to do it slowly after, because I think this game should be safe if I offload everything, because we're only at 30. So 30 times 3 is like 90. So yeah, I guess this campaign alone is like 90 hours. That's fucking terrible, dude. So I have until the end of April.
You said it's non-partners that they're doing this to.
They're doing it to everyone.
Oh, it's everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's bullshit.
Anyways, that's all. I just want to let you guys know, if you want to keep on top of me and tell me like how the progress is going, that will be helpful as a reminder to make sure that I get it done before I lose all the VODs, because I don't want to lose any of them.
The only reason they're able to just like throw their weight around like that is because they are the biggest streaming,
and because they're losing money. They've been losing money.
I think we can skip the fruit today and go to fucking.
Bezos has got more than he can bankroll it. He just doesn't want to.
All right, well that's all from me.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I got an email, so that's maybe because I don't have over 100 hours.
If you haven't saved, like in saved videos and highlights.
I do have some, but not over 100, so I'm guessing that's why I didn't get any.
Stupid. It is a stupid.
Some of the.
I'll show you the email Mesh when I'm done then, because I think we should probably start playing. It's 20 minutes after.
All right. Let's go.
All right. Last time. Last time, the party was trapped in a pit with Pepper, but was a little bit split. And the party was well on their way to escape until a pair of captains started to approach from the outside. After that, things kind of went sideways with multiple animals and a ghost running around, drawing the pirates here and there, triggering all sorts of alarms. And the pirates were able to regroup quickly and stormed the room where Janus, Maefyre, Pepper, and Grim had managed to get free and were just climbing out of their pit. Faced with near certain death, The Admiral appeared after talking with her patron, who asked for a truce between her crews and Janus. Janus was very conflicted, but made a choice, ultimately accepting the role as the 8th captain with his quote-unquote crew, except for Chamilla and Renok, who were more hesitant. We are middle of the afternoon, and the Admiral has spent some time talking with the other 7 captains, making sure that they are a little bit more comfortable with the new arrangement. Now, from last time, though, we have a few action items to wrap up. We had Chamilla, who searched for some treasure and found some things.
I like treasure.
You found a Ring of the Ocean's Embrace, which is a ring made out of coral interlaced with silver that grants the ability to breathe underwater and doubles your swim speed.
Very nice.
The ring has 1 charge that can be expended to cast control water or conjure elemental water. And you can refund the charge at most once per day by dipping it in water. Found some other goodies, Brown's ancient compass, some coins in a leather pouch, and then a pearl necklace. And all of the values are written next to them in chat.
Ooh. Okay.
Renok.
Oh.
You were gathering rumors, trying to just listen while you were fishing in various places, and you learned some tidbits about the different captains. Veldrin, whom you have met, you learn that she is allied with someone named Barracuda Jack, who you have not met. But Barracuda Jack is a little bit conniving and will turn on anyone pretty quickly if it allows them to move up in the world. You also heard kind of this story where a long time in the past, Veldrin had stole Antonova's ship, Antonova being another captain. And now Antonova is still furious about it. And Antonova believes that Veldrin has many of her keepsakes smuggled or squirreled away after stealing her ship, and is still demanding recompense for those things. So a bit of drama amidst these pirate captains. Everything's not as hunky-dory as it might initially seem. And then we had a few different people that wanted to talk with the Admiral about various things. A pirate approaches Janus and asks him to come and speak with the Admiral.
I need to collect Miss Maefyre, and I will join you shortly.
Right.
The Admiral made it clear, sir, very, very just you at this time.
I understand that. I'm gonna have her wait outside because I believe that she has a meeting. So we'll go along, and then I'll take my meeting first, if that's all right with you.
Okay.
Is there anyone else in our party that wanted to come in with us, Maefyre? Maybe we can collect them as well and have them wait outside while I finish my meeting with the Admiral.
I don't mind coming in waiting outside for you. Make sure
The
you're
Admiral
all right.
will talk to you in turn. I believe she had plans to talk with everyone.
All right, well then, if you're on retainer to go fetch them, then Maefyre, you can do what you need to do, and we'll have this runner come to see you if you're all right with that.
Has anyone seen?
Okay.
Has anyone seen our bear friend anywhere?
I'll leave you two to figure out where Renok is, and I'm gonna go head over. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like give a knowing look to Maefyre and kind of just like the face you give when you're like, well, here the fuck we go. Let's see how it happens. And just like Walks off and then kind of gives a quick salute to Chamilla.
Do you have to do this all the time now?
I do it, but
Wait,
like
Cari,
with
do
the
this one.
opposite hand, since I'm like not a pirate. Yeah, there you go. Only high rollers fans.
You arrive in the Admiral's kind of lighthouse tower here, and you knock and someone says enter. Inside the room, Janus, is a circular room with furniture arranged around the perimeter of the room, with the center of the room just being a large stone basin of water, and you can't seem to see the bottom of it, so the water seems to go very deep. The Admiral is reclining comfortably on a sofa. A bottle of rum sits open next to her with 7 empty glasses that were recently used, probably the other captain's. Light is filtering in through heavy wooden shutters and bounces off the pool of water, creating a steadily oscillating aureole effect in the pattern on the ceiling in the room. Sit.
He undoes his scabbards and sets his swords on the table by the basin.
Our patron has provided limited instruction and limited details of your pillages through these lands. I don't know exactly what you're doing, but you're supposed to keep doing it. Turning over rocks and whatnot, digging up ancient history, and putting down ancient beasts.
Sounds about right.
My patron says our joint objective is to continue to cement a seat of power here and further entrench on the banks of this lake. As for what's next, nothing right now for us together. Probably waiting on your party to make something happen. I've been working to convince some stone shapers to the west to help us build a fortress of stone here. As long as we don't kill each other, and as she says this, a wave of hatred kind of ripples across her face. Hand goes to where you attempted to stab her, kind of in the shoulder. We should remain in the good graces of our patron to continue to earn more opportunities in the future. Anyway, that is all. Do you have anything you need of me at this moment?
If there's other favors that you need, I don't mean this lightly, but I would keep a few vials empty with corks on your person and collect the blood for me. I can analyze it and get back with you some additional details. Hopefully that will be a mutually beneficial thing, because I will then also have the information. But I can keep this from the other captains quite easily, because I'm the only one around here that can do hemicraft.
Of my blood?
Your blood or anyone else's that we seek. Potentially those beings underwater that may or may not be allies or enemies of our patron. We can glean potential threats of them and help us remove the Driscoll's seat that much faster. I've been doing daily research, but supplies are low, and of the supplies that can be garnered, the majority of them are from beings that I either already am aware of how they operate, or there's not that many enemies that are willingly giving up their blood. One additional thing to keep in mind, I have a working theory that blood given willingly and blood given unwillingly have different properties. This is just a working theory. So, nothing is confirmed. And I wouldn't expect people that don't have an expertise in this type of craft to understand, but kind of think of it as a poisoner alchemist type thing if it helps. Set your mind at ease. It's just another way to get information. Tracking and whatnot.
Give me a persuasion check to see if you can convince the Admiral to give her blood.
It's just a 10. I have no charisma. Literally just a +0. I'm also just not like actively looking for her blood. I'm just kind of saying broad brushstrokes.
Okay.
But I
Should
will
we
like
have any
reveal some of the
enemies.
Sorry, go ahead.
Should we have any enemies? I will attempt to gather their blood, see if you could help us. As for other perks of the offer, it seems the patron has granted me a vessel that can travel through the same channels that it can travel across. And I can travel and bring you and your party to most large bodies of water on this ship without too much difficulty. So should you need quick transport through the realm on the underwater currents, do let me know.
Do you have a possible way to get from this area to like a landlocked zone such as Crescent, or is it literally just anything that touches the water in Barovia? What are we talking here?
In Crescent,
Crescent is not surrounded by
was
water
a-
to my knowledge.
there was a pool of water deep in the sewers, but I don't think the ship fits there.
So what are the
The nearest I
limitations
could
we're
bring
working
you-
with?
Uh,
Ship size sounds like one of them. Yeah. Ship
can
goes
go to
on water and under.
Lake Zarovich. We can get you pretty close to Krezek in the lake next to it in Zarovich.
All right.
There's Luna Lake to the far west, Lake Eden, the Ser Pool where we are at now.
All right.
And there's a big enough lake near Ravenloft.
Yes, I do vaguely remember seeing one up there.
I
All
can
right.
pull you to that map if you want to see that. But there's like 5 that span
Yeah.
most areas.
I'll share this with my my team, and we'll see if there's anything that they want. I don't want to make a decision, but how is it? What's the protocol around here to get your attention? In a proper channel, I guess is the better way of saying it. We don't want to disturb you if it's against kosher policies against the other captains. I don't want to ruffle feathers as a new guy.
She pulls out a sending stone and places it on the table in front of you and says, each of the captains have a sending stone. You can communicate me with it, and I can relay to the other captains.
This only gets to you, is that correct?
Only to me.
He slings it in like a side pocket on his pack. Do you have a salute or anything for respect around here? For you and for us?
I'll be clear. You are a captain in title only. You have none of the same responsibilities, obligations, or expectations of the other of my true captains. You are free to roam these lands, and we have a truce backed by our common patron. We will work together, but you and I are not friends.
He slings his scabbards back on his belt. Let's keep it that way. And he leaves.
Please send in Chamilla. I believe she wanted to talk as well.
He doesn't respond. He just leaves. To go get her.
Oh, yes, I figured she'd want to talk to me eventually, so yeah, okay. I'll hop in. Wish me luck. Hopefully I don't end up dead.
I'll be outside.
Okay.
How long does guidance last? Within...
10 minutes.
Minutes.
That's good enough. I'll give you guidance then. No, it's 1 minute.
That was a
Never
1.
mind.
Oh, sad. Well, who knows? Maybe that 1 minute.
I'm
does-
thinking of Bardic Inspiration. Bardic Inspiration's 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'll inspire myself. Anyways, I do enter.
I just wanted to take the opportunity to make clear the terms and why I didn't have you shot immediately for mutiny. As I just explained to Janus, your arrangement with us is diplomatic primarily in nature. We have a ceasefire, a truce, for the time being, backed by our common patron. You have no obligations to serve. I will not give you any orders, nor I expect too many demands from your side of the table either. Hopefully this eases your mind and sets the proper tone for our engagement into the future. Is there anything... Do you have any doubts or concerns that need to be addressed before we proceed, or are you content with this arrangement?
What are we proceeding to?
Not killing each other.
You're asking me... You're just informing me of the deal you made with Janus, is that correct?
That is correct. I assume you will continue to travel with him.
Absolutely. And as I said before, you know, I'd give my life to protect him. I am as in a line with what you would want me to be if I was swearing fealty to the pirates.
You're not.
I will be there to help
Nor
him.
would I accept it. Trust is a commodity, not meant to be bartered or traded with. Not anything that can be demanded. Trust is earned. Now our patron, I trust my patron, and my patron says you are trustworthy.
I'm
but-
glad he thinks so.
That is not something... If my patron tells me to do something, I do it. And so the patron is telling me to trust you. That does not mean I actually do trust. It's something I am taking a leap of faith to some degree, but so far the patron has proved to be reliable in these matters.
Well, that is good to hear. I'm glad for you, I guess. Is that all you want from me?
That is all. Just merely wanted to clarify that. I know you were a little bit more on edge compared to some of the other party members.
Well, thank you for reaching out your hand. I appreciate it.
While all this
you-
is happening, I'm pinging Goldy with message. Not
Okay.
Goldy, Renok with message like,
Ren-
Renok,
yeah.
is that you? Is that you? Renok.
Do you actually
Renok?
find me?
Some guy named Rennie responds. He's like, who are you?
What do you want? I'm sleeping.
If that's all and she lets me, I will exit. And I'll just look to before I exit, I'll ask, would you like me to send in Maefyre?
I will talk with Maefyre later in the evening. She wanted to commune more directly. So
Very
please
well
send
then.
her at an hour after sunset.
Okay. I exit and turn to Maefyre, like, well, I guess you can come with me now. She said meet her an hour after sunset.
Really?
Yeah,
Stipulations.
keep an eye on that sun.
So stringent.
Janus, are you still there? Oh, yeah, I actually know, I think I talked with Goldy. I know where he is. He is right now.
Yeah, chef, above board. Is that okay?
What are you doing, Cari?
I'm sorry, I'm reading the message Goldy sent me to see if, because we were talking to see if I knew where he was so that I could ping him without.
Yeah, I thought there
putting my
might be
finger in a circle.
She might see me.
I thought he was a whisperer.
Renok, do you want to just read out what you wanted to try to work on here?
So I was thinking after I got that initial information, I would have gone back to the chef, and I with a bucket of whatever fish I managed to acquire, would have actually offered it to him as a kind of rekindling of our friendships, and I would actually try to kind of lower his guard now, and just try and befriend him and to get more information if I could, and just try and make things better between us. So I'm at the place that we ate.
The captain doesn't recognize you right now because you've changed your disguise. So you're trying to just bring some fish to this guy and persuade him. Why don't you give me a survival check to see how well you are actually fishing, because you were distracted doing other things. And then how about a persuasion check to see how effective you are with your fish
I
fishy
got
offering.
16 for survival, and persuasion, where is it? There it is. And I can't see it. I got a dirty 20.
All right. You are able to sway the lucky Leroy. He looks at your haul of fish and is like, not a bad collection. Bet I could whip up something special with this. And as you're showing this to Leroy, the other patrons of the bar kind of start to shuffle and leave, knowing that they're going to be fed some stuff soon. Leroy prepares a dish, and I need a constitution check if you're going to try to eat it, as he places it in front of you, and he looks down proudly at it. Let's see if those fish you caught are any good, huh?
Because I met him before, can I tell that he is friendly enough to allow me to say no before I say anything? Can I tell?
You will know that if you turn down his food, he will immediately become quite irate.
All right, well, let's go for that con save. Thank you. I guess it was a long day. Let me just try this. I got a 10.
That's good enough. This is like a fish stew that he puts down in front of you, and you take a bite, and it's like somehow saltier than salt water. Like, this man has somehow increased the amount of salt that you can dissolve into water to the point where you can feel your skin drawing tighter to your flesh as this salts you from the inside out. But you managed to eat the whole bowl and probably ate enough sodium for the entire century.
Does
like,
that have
well,
on salt.
Does that have anything to do with my comment when I first met him saying it needs a little bit more salt by chance?
maybe.
Okay.
Maybe he took that to the extreme and made sure it was salty.
Yes. Do you know what? Nothing like a fine meal after a hard day's work, especially when I was the one who acquired the stuff and things. Oh.
I don't recognize you, and I recognize most of the people that can stomach my food these days. Who are you with, or are you outsider, traveler on the road?
I am a traveler. I'm just passing by. To be honest with you, I just need a better place to settle. And unload a few bits and bobs. I'll be on my way soon enough.
He'll pull out a bottle and be like, well, drink for a while. What do you... Interesting times, very auspicious going on here in the camp. What do you, tell me of your travels then?
I just realized that I should be putting on a voice if I'm trying to consume myself. So as Renok, I will be talking. I would, I've come up and down these lands, and you know that place? What's it? The posh people, you see, they they seem to have a bit of a famine problem. I was just traveling around there and I saw hordes and hordes of people just running all which way. I have no idea what happened. Did you know about that?
Yeah, we heard about that kind of recently. Some group of travelers came in town with that obsidian golem.
Oh,
Weird folk.
did you say a golem?
Are you trying to get information out of this captain, or what are you trying
Yeah,
to
I'm
do here?
I'm trying to lower his guard first and then information. Sorry if I'm just like longing
His
it out a
guard's
little bit.
lowered. He's drunk.
Okay, he's drunk. Do you know what? I gotta ask you. There was a bit of commotion earlier. Down over there. I was doing a bit of fishing. Do you know anything about that by chance? Like, do you know what happened? Why happened?
I was deep in the kitchen and I heard the alarm bells go off. I think the prison break or something. There was some violence and I had my blunderbuss ready to go, but by the time I got to the deck, it had been enough sentries were about that the commotion was put down.
Oh my! Who's imprisoned? Do you know them?
The same group of travelers.
Oh,
They
just came inside trouble.
the admiral told the captains to arrest them, so we did. After the ritual, and he pulls down his shirt and shows you the blue scales on his chest. Like, got some built-in armor now.
Oh, wait, what does that do?
He grabs the steak knife and rams it into his chest, and the steak knife, rather than going into his chest, just shatters against it. He's like,
Oh my!
it's so far can't get through it with just about anything.
That's quite impressive. I don't suppose there are any downsides to that.
Haven't found any yet, unless you're not a fan of blue.
No, I've lost my life on the sea, so no. I'm quite a fan of blue. But what did you need to do that, to get that?
Oh, well, that's interesting. All I had to do was drown, apparently.
Ah, did you die? Did you?
Went unconscious, woke up, spit out a gallon of water, and yeah, something with the admiral. I not too keen on doing it again, but
Hey, could I check his answer? Like, is he? Does he think that he was on? Or does he actually know he was?
sorry, what was that?
Well,
You're checking
does
he's
he
what?
think he grew unconscious, or does he know for a fact it was unconscious? Because I'm just trying to verify if it was actually death or not.
He passed out from not having any oxygen in his lungs and experienced symptoms of drowning, so he's pretty confident that he was breathing water for a little bit.
Did everyone need to do that? Like everyone here, or all the others?
It was the captains were selected for this first trial run, it seems.
Trial run. Are you saying that there might be more of these runs?
The admiral was saying that the ritual, even doing just 7 people, drained her. She was exhausted after she announced the eighth captain, that Janus fellow or whatever his name is. She's probably relaxing and regaining her strength for a little bit, but she might be trying the same ritual with others, especially the leads or first mates or other people directly in her crew. Seems like we are preparing for war here, growing an army.
I just let to take a little swiv and pass him one as well. War. Who would you be warring against?
I don't know, rightfully.
You're gonna go and bash some heads in and you don't even know what the heads are?
Well, you got an armada of ships here that are stuck, but the captain's got some new ships that go underwater. So any place that's near water is kind of at risk of being invaded.
I'm sorry, drink my big aim. Did you say underwater ships?
That's right. These are the same ships that Janus learned about. So the Admiral can take you to any large body of water.
Yes, but I haven't been able to even talk with Renok yet, so he's probably just like,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, that's exactly
Wow.
what I'm doing.
すごいね.
Really? Oh. you know, well, while I was fishing, I overheard a couple of the guys just saying how they wanted to leave. Like, isn't that the main goal? I've been around enough this place to know how hard it is. These lands. Don't you just want to go rather than do war and such?
Admiral says all this stuff is a means to an end, so going to war is on that path that gets us out of here. Yeah, we'll go to war.
She seems like a very smart woman.
But it seems close. If we can go on these underwater currents, maybe we can get out of here under this fog. There ain't no fog underwater, so maybe we just need to find our way out.
I assume you probably have enough for everyone, right?
Ships? Oh, we could squeeze onto one if we had to. Not a very large fleet.
Alright. Well, when you talk about war, I assume you wanted to have a whole fleet of them, rolling up, as it were, on any unfortunate soul coming in your way.
Well, it's probably not going to be a naval battle, so we need transport more than we need firepower. But yes, the galleon that the Admiral rides has enough cannons to broadside anyone to oblivion.
Okay, sorry, I was reading the message. Hey, tell me about yourself. Like, what did you do before you arrived here?
I was a pirate. We sailed the seas.
What I mean to say is that
Took what we wanted.
Were you always a chef? Like, I assumed that you didn't choose to be a pirate immediately.
Yeah, well, the culinary arts call to me, and so I just humbly answered the call. It's a shame that not everyone can hear the same call. It's kind of like, the sirens and that stuff where certain people can't hear the pitch or whatever.
I take a finger and on the plate of the finished food, I just like, whoop. And you know what? You responded very well.
I thank you.
Well, I think I've taken up more than enough of your time. Perhaps it's about time I found a room to retire to. Thank you for the drink, by the way. I really appreciate that.
All right, safe travels.
All right, well, until we meet again.
Till the waters bring us back together.
Walk out of this way. And go, oh my god, underwater ships.
It's later in the
water
afternoon.
shoes are the things you think of. Any other water thing. Wetsuit. Nope, water shoes.
What was that, Chef?
It's
Did I hear
late
you properly?
afternoon now. The
Chips.
Ships, not shoes. Never mind.
it's late
Sorry.
afternoon. Most of the party's together. Renok is in the Hellfish Tavern.
I
Can't.
would think I would slowly walk out, and I think at this point I would be I would try to subtly look for the others, and I have no idea where they are.
Sorry, I was gonna look for Pepper and just
Go ahead.
interrupted.
Stupid
Pepper is still lingering with you guys.
What's Pepper doing?
I feel like I turn around and they're like, ah, you're still here.
What are you surprised for? Pepper, always here. Always got your guys' back in these pickles like that. Got us
Pepper,
out of there
you're
with
amazing.
our teeth intact. Not too shabby. No one got the El Kabonk.
Big bonk. Hey, Pepper, I got a question for you.
How did my character go?
Yeah.
Kind of like lowered my voice a bit and kind of lean over the table. Is there, if I were to tell you that there was a way to leave Barovia, hypothetically, would you prefer leaving to staying?
Ain't got shit here anymore. Any place seems a little better to me.
Even if it was before the famine, just hypothetically, can you entertain that? Would you prefer to stay here?
I'd probably, I'm a man, a simple man, so if there was still food in Crescent, I'd probably just live out my days there as a happy man who does some small jobs around the city type of guy.
You don't really feel like you had a, how would I say this? A rough existence? I mean, it's kind of like a rude thing to say, but.
Well, the way I see it is everyone's got their troubles in life. Famine here, a pestilence there, a zombie invasion, a evil vampire lord family. Like, these are all just
All right, all
simple,
right.
common
Let
things.
me tell you something first. Most of those things that you say everyone has, blah blah blah, that like with the zombie invasions, like the big, I don't know, the craziness of having a vampire leader, that isn't actually normal, and those things don't happen in normal places. They only happen here.
Well, Sonny, when you've got as many years as me under your belt, you might see the world a little bit differently.
He just stares blankly. All right, better question. If this were true, what I'm proposing to you, that you could leave here and that these things are not, you know, normal. Do you think that the people of these lands have always been here? Because I'm beginning to think
these
that the people
lands-
that are here belong to be here for some reason.
What are you saying? All of these horrible atrocities are chaining us here, and these people, my people, are just meant to experience them?
Well, the way I
That's
look at
our
it is
lot in
like
life.
this. People don't really worship much of anything here. There's not a whole strong faith with any deities, and there doesn't seem to be any faith in the deities that are here. And
There's an entire church in Crescent. There's plenty of faith in the deities.
do you have faith in the deity in Crescent?
I'm more of like a All Saints, Christmas, New Year's type of, religious guy. I go on the big holidays, but most days, I think that undead fella smells a little bit too funky.
An honest answer. From an honest man, I must say. All I'm trying to say is if there was some sort of like punishment for living a shitty life, if you're just an evil person, this place seems like it's got a lot of that vibe.
You saying I'm being punished for being an evil person now?
I ain't saying you're innocent now, am I, Pepper? I don't really know you that well.
Well,
He just kind of
I don't
laughs a
think
little
I've
bit
been
at that
doing
and
anything that
takes a drink.
warrants an eternal damnation type of thing. That's what you're saying? I think
I
the
just
gods
don't know,
right
man.
by me.
I'm just trying to spit up some conversation with another native. I don't really know what this place is. All I know is it's really hard to get out of, and if you want to come back, it ain't too difficult.
I wouldn't know about that. Never tried to leave. Never tried to get back.
Well, hey, I'm as somebody that's been newly found into some form of weird leadership role, whatever the fuck this is. I sincerely apologize for putting your life in jeopardy over the last 24 hours. So that shouldn't have happened to you.
Been exciting. And
Well,
now I'm part of the crew.
I guess so.
But I might not go with you onto your next journey because it seems
That's
you
fine,
are
Pepper.
running headfirst into every beastie and monster that you can find. And there's some beasties and monsters here, but now they're on our side. So
Something like that, yeah.
I might stay here.
It'd be good if you went somewhere else, just for your own safety. I will talk with the others, but my desire is to make sure that you're all set somewhere, and then we can go do whatever we need to do. But time's not exactly on our side, so if you can do any of that by yourself, or kind of stay here for a bit before you do things, kind of gather some stuff together, that might help.
Well, I was initially planning to go to that village of Barovia, but the people here saying that it's a ghost town. Everyone's bricks over there.
More or less.
So,
Might just stick around here.
there ain't many places besides here, it seems. There's food and guns pointed not at me, which is not too bad of a deal if you ask me.
All right. Well, if you don't want to associate with me, I get it. If you do want to associate with me, I still advise against it. Probably best to stick with yourself.
I believe you're my official captain. He's like trying to cozy up to you and like slaps you like, Captain, you keep me safe, I'll keep you safe. I'm just gonna stay here instead of go with you, if that's all right, if you give me leave to do that.
Oh, yeah. Aye, Captain, whatever that business is just not making me very comfortable. I'm going to go get the rest of the group. This is a weird conversation. Just take care of yourself.
Okay. Peppa appreciates it.
Don't talk to you about yourself in the third person. It freaks me out. Stop that. That's an order.
All right. Yes, Cap. Pepper will stop talk.
I'm going to get some salt for that, Pepper, if you don't shut it.
Yes, Captain.
He just smirks and leaves.
Renok, you leave the Hellfish Tavern. You can see your party kind of loitering outside of the Admiral's Tower.
Oh, okay. Are they moving? Are they just standing there?
Right now, they're just kind of chilling out there. Chamilla just kind of exited the Admiral's Tower and has rejoined them.
I'm not going to approach them until they start walking away from the entire area, because I don't want to raise any alarms. I'm here. Once they go towards the food area, I'll just shout at them and carry on going to a more secluded area. Yes, I want them, but I can't join yet.
All right.
Yes, did you say the Admiral wanted to see anybody else, or was that it with the Admiral?
Just wanted to talk with Maefyre after sunset.
Okay.
Is it after sunset yet?
If anyone wants to do anything else during the day, we can jump to sunset. It gets
I have nothing. I am good.
gets a little bit later in the evening. Maefyre, you go and knock on the Admiral's tower, and she's not there, so you just kind of
Huh?
head back to your room,
Huh?
and you guys are just kind of lingering about.
I'll probably go see my old crew, just mingle for a bit.
Yeah. What do you want to say? To you? Just mingling with your old
Just
crew?
mingle, yeah, just
Krizik
catching
kind of asked you, like, I have to ask, you were good in your role here. Would you consider transferring out of the 8th captain, or are you set in that walk in life?
I think I want to see where they're going. They're an interesting bunch.
I don't blame you. Things are getting weird and dark here, and at least you have some power to change things in that 8th division. Sounds like you guys are a independent group compared to the rest of us. It's business as usual for the rest of the 7 captains, but this 8th captain is going to be a loose cannon, so to speak.
At least,
Does he want to join us?
You might reconsider as I tap on his scales based on your current experiences. I don't know how far you want to go with your commitments around here. You're always welcome to pop over to this crew if you want.
Give me a persuasion check.
Ooh. Do it. Do it.
Dirty 20.
How dirty are we talking?
Filthy.
Filthy.
Krizik kind of pulls you close and says, and you're speaking mutiny, boy, but you're not speaking crazy.
When push
No.
comes to shove, man, you have options.
You know as well as I do, there ain't options. Any of the captains makes a move like that on their own, entire crew will be snuffed out. Part of the reason why we have 7 captains is that the other 6 keep you in check. If you want a mutiny to happen, you gotta get the majority of the captains to side with you. And even that might result in some nasty fighting. Even with the majority, who knows what would happen. So, if you're talking about changing the power structure and unseating the Admiral, you better make sure it's a clean shot.
That's the long stretch, but in the short run, if people want to have more freedom, there is space on the crew to swap over. As I look over at...
You ain't hearing me. There's not a way out for us without taking out the Admiral. There's a chain that binds. You get half the captains, and there's a chance. But if that doesn't happen, then not much is going to shift with this structure here.
Well, maybe someday. I don't know.
Mesh, are you looking at
When-
Janus nearby?
I don't think... would you have followed?
Are you guys outside of the general area? Like, I don't know where places we are
I'd-
at the moment.
I'd say I went to the old ship they were in. Down south, I think. Yeah, down south.
Yeah. Janus can be, outside nearby around.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you a look if you catch my eye.
He'll do one of these. And then hold up a flask.
Hey, Cleric, could you do me a favor and give me a few drops of your blood?
Yes.
Just to make sure that in the worst case scenario, we can help you when you need it. We can keep an eye on you.
Yes, sir. He'll pull out a knife out of his belt, cut a quick thing in his thumb, and you got a place to put it?
Yeah, I have a vial.
He'll cut a quick scar into his thumb and give you a little bit of blood before wrapping it in a band in like a piece of cloth that he tears off from the bottom of his shirt, exposing his belly a little bit. And he looks down at it, is like, eating's been good, clothes are getting tight, not a bad problem to have.
Yeah, settling down has some perks.
Until that town of Barovia runs out of food, well, you're in pretty good situation.
What do you think the captain, what do you think the admiral would do if we could relieve that curse on the town of Barovia?
Might be a bit of a food crunch, but it sounds like that's a bit of a problem everywhere right now. But we got a few people trickling in from Krasik these past couple days. A lot of farmers are starting up, so we might have a little bit more of a sustainable future here if we're starting to plant and harvest. Otherwise, the forests still have plenty of animals, and the lake still's got plenty of fish.
Barovians probably had their own source of.
There's a lot of farms around that town.
If we can figure out how to free them, they might help, foster some trade between both groups.
It would be nice to have a seat at that negotiating table, win some favor with the admiral, probably earn your new crew some points with the other captains here if you were to secure food and arrangements for the rest of the folk here.
So, if we're talking about this, which other captains do you suggest negotiate with next besides you?
Antonova's probably my closest ally, but she likes the admiral more than others. And then Antonova is also allied with Jorvik. Jorvik, he's the very honorable, and he's a little bit unhappy. He's expressed some frustrations privately about the transformation. So he might be a little bit grumpy. So if you're asking who's closest to me, it's Antonova and Jorvik Stormsteaker. And I will send those names. If you want to know who to avoid, or maybe not, that Barracuda Jack. He'll turn on anyone in a heartbeat. So Just need to find a way to pay him off. That being said, he's a fickle guy. If you pay him and someone else pays more, his allegiances change as often as the winds. I've also heard that Veldrin Silverjaw, she's not too keen on the Admiral either after the ritual. You could ask her, try to get her bearing on the chart as well.
How do you spell Krizik's name?
Kryzek.
Shoot, I'll be back.
So it's Krizik.
Well,
Krizik Antonova.
It's in the chat.
Jorvik are the good ones.
Oh, I didn't
Velvet.
notice that he was putting it in the
Yeah.
at a different window covering it. Antonova. Okay, I thought it was Antonova.
Yeah, which
Jorvik
one's,
Stormseeker.
which one's the Veldrin doesn't like?
Grisham is the new one.
Barracuda's a new one, right?
No, Grisham is the new one with the Aarakocra.
it's getting later and later into the evening, and it's bedtime for most people.
Yeah.
And you head to bed. Maefyre, no sign of the Admiral.
The fuck? Where'd she go?
Everyone heads to sleep. And in
Where's
the middle
the
of the
Admiral?
night, Maefyre, you are stirred from your slumber.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Wait, I might look a bit weird. Okay.
Lucky Leroy is the one that cooked for Renok, right?
yes. The Admiral Maefyre is beside
Yeah.
your bed, beckoning you silently. Your
What?
party is asleep around you.
I start.
And you can see there's a magic aura that is cloaking her and causing shadows to shift and obscure her face.
Really?
The others in the room are fast asleep and can't hear anything. Do you follow?
Yeah, did she say anything to me, or did she just beckon?
Just-
She beckons to me. Okay, I'm gonna get up because I do want to speak to her.
Okay. As you
But
begin to
I'm
kind of walk
cautious.
towards her, the shadowing, the pass without trace is extended to you as well, causing you to move much more silently. And
Is that what it
untrackably.
is?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Admiral moves between the buildings with you in tow, following kind of a shadowy path, moving from in between the lamps and torches and patrols and guards. Eventually finding a part of the shore where there's not much light, and she begins to walk into the water, and you notice that the water recedes from around her feet, and her boots sink deeply into the wet sand. She waits for you, and again beckons for you to come closer.
Okay, I'm gonna say, hey now, what is this? Why is this water retreating like that? What have you done?
The patron prepares the way.
Okay, so what you said is wet. It's wet mud underneath.
Yeah, there's a ring of water that is being pushed away from the Admiral's feet. Kind of like a bubble, probably 10 feet across.
Okay, I'm gonna go through cautiously because I have a fear of like deep water. I'm not even really wanting to go into it, but I'll walk forward cautiously.
The Admiral continues walking along the floor of the water. This bubble emerges and repels the water in a near perfect sphere. So as you continue deeper into the water, the
It's just
water fills in behind you and fills in atop of you.
so we've got a space around us of air. And
You're in a bubble of air.
We're touching the ground or the bed of this
You're walking on the lake floor.
on the lake floor.
The sphere of water continues to repel water as you go even deeper, and eventually there's lapping water on top of you. The moon goes invisible quickly through the deep blue waters.
Is there light?
There is a seemingly dim glow in the bubble. You can make out the Admiral and you can make out the path, but not much more. We can talk now if you have any questions for me. We'll be at my patron soon enough.
Well, yeah. Why did you want to talk here, away from everybody?
This is how I talk with the patron. This is the most direct answers.
Your patron is under this lake?
I believe the bottom of the lake is where the connection to the patron is the strongest.
And your patron is, as you believe, in another realm? And you're saying there's a place where the gap between the realms is thin, but your patron's not in this realm, they're in another realm.
So they say. They're not here yet, as I understand it.
Yet? So your patron, have you made a bargain with them? A contract of some sort?
Oh, very much so.
And what may I ask are the details of this agreement?
Get me and my crew out of this realm. In return, he asked for a few acts of service.
Are you wanting to go to the realm where the patron is? Or are you talking about returning to...
I want to go home.
Okay, so you're talking about returning to where he was prior to here.
Leaving this godforsaken Barovia, as it's called.
Do you think that the patron is the one preventing people leaving in the first place with the impenetrable mist that surrounds this area?
I don't believe so. I think there's something else at play stopping us from leaving.
Okay, so a third party.
The patron is trying to come to this area, and they are struggling to get through something as well. So.
Okay, so the patron's not strong enough currently to come here.
When the patron arrives, I think that's when we'll be able to leave.
Your patron, did they have a name?
Yes. They've given me the name Azrael.
Azrael. I don't know how that's spelled, so I'm gonna make it up. Azrael. Oh, like that. Azrael. Azrael. Is Azrael a god, a demigod, or some such being?
I don't know.
You don't know. demonstrated that they have great power, though seemingly not enough to come here at will. And their power can be exerted in this realm even though they're not here, as evidenced by the result of the ritual, which I still bear on my body. I do need to know. I have my own selfish reasons. I'm not particularly happy with this disfigurement. I would like it removed somehow or concealed. Is there a way to do that? Does the ritual have to be completed?
I don't know. All you have to do is ask when we get there.
There's a lot of I don't knows here. You seem to be going along with this. Like I'm quite confused by your willingness to do whatever this patron says. What's their ulterior motives? They want to get here, but to do what? To lay sunder to this land, to usurp power, take over. What is it they want? I don't care. Quite confused.
If Azrael comes here and kills every single local, but honors our bargain to get us out, I couldn't care less.
What? That's one of the most heinous things I've ever heard.
My crew is my first priority. And apparently that now includes you. So your safe passage has been secured.
I'm rather concerned about your callous attitude. You don't care if
have you
slaughtered?
Traveled in this land much? There's a lot of people who don't care for those outside of their flock.
Sure, but I'm addressing you. And
my crew is my first priority.
I am now directly under you in your crew.
As I explained to the 8th captain, to Janus, whatever structure, whatever power arrangement that we have is a truce backed by the patron and nothing more. He is a captain in title only. There are no obligations to report, no obligations to kneel, and I would never order you or your friends to do anything.
So, was it the
when
patron
the time comes to leave the realm, it's ultimately going to be up to you if you want to come with us or not. But me and my crew me and the 7 captains will leave when we are able to.
7 captains. So your patron wanted to make Janus into a captain, or was it your idea?
I was planning on having you all killed.
I see. At least I know where I stand with you. My suspicions were correct.
Well, your Janus tried to sink a blade into my heart.
Well,
that's kind of a punishable by death type of action in most situations, except where my patron immediately told me to not.
Well, you know, Janus does like to get carried away sometimes, but I believe under the circumstances, 7 people's lives were immediate danger. And it was very, very little. There wasn't really a way to see how to stop that. So I understand his actions, though. Yes, he can be rash sometimes. I'm sure you can understand someone's own motives that they may benefit themselves, since you seem to have that outlook in life. But really what I want to know is what I'm getting at and why I came here. One, obviously I have my selfish desire to remove this affliction if possible. I want to know what the true nature of the patron. I want to know if this is the same entity we were warned about by Baba Yasaga. She seems to be fighting or holding at bay you don't know who Baba Yasaga is? Okay, Baba Yasaga is the mother of Lord Driscoll. Fuck, what's his name? No. Vad? What's his name? Strahd. Sorry. Strahd. I'm sorry, I got confused there.
Who
Strahd.
are these people you are talking about?
How do you not know who that is? There's a great big castle up on a hill.
She's not from around these parts here, Maefyre.
Yeah, but the pirate camp is not the pirate camp is not that far from. It's like on a forest on the other side of the thing, isn't it? Anyway, oh God, I can't. I've difficult to explain here. Well, anyway,
perhaps maybe that is just on me. Is we don't get to know the lambs that we're slaughtering.
Why would you?
Pirate code? Oh.
So you don't. Okay. So
anyway, a structure begins to fade in through the murky depths, and the bubble of air around you and the Admiral makes contact with a larger bubble, and a passage starts small and expands as two circles collide. And you are entering an underground temple in a much larger bubble of water. There's a series of columns that form a ring around a central structure. The central structure has plain stone walls with an arched door. The Admiral continues to walk towards the central structure across the now dry stones. So the lake floor here has been dry for quite some time. And it's been quite well preserved. Inside the inside the structure, there's a stone table similar to an altar, and there's a deep blue cloth draped across it. A lantern springs to life as you approach, casting a bluish glow over the room. And atop the table sits a bowl of water, and an eye appears in the bowl, blinking, seeing.
Okay.
Behind you, in the blackness at the bottom of this lake, there's a black silhouette of a small child standing just outside the bubble, also watching. The Admiral says, "The patron is here. Ask your questions."
Is the patron this thing in the water, or is it the shadow I can see outside?
I am here in the water. This is my conduit to this realm.
Ah. Okay. You said that we're in a sort of temple and a sort of altar. Do I recognize anything of the temple? Are there any like religious symbols or imagery or writing? Okay. 1 second, please. This thing's being slow. Okay, I got 15.
You're looking at the walls, and where there would normally be signs of what religion or what sect denomination might have constructed this, and you are seeing ancient scratch marks that have worn with time. This isn't a modern religion. This is an ancient temple that's been here for much longer than any other structure you've seen.
So it could be a dead religion, so to speak, not currently not currently anyone's worshipping. Is there any writing of any sort anywhere?
Give me was it perception? Investigation. Sorry, investigation.
Okay, investigation. Okay, that was a bit better. I got a 21.
You find you're kind of lifting the tablecloth, the cloth off the table and looking through this area more closely, looking for anything, your fingers running across the smooth stone. You find writing, but you don't understand it. It's in a language you don't recognize.
Is the writing on the table or on the wall?
Your hands are running across the table and you actually feel that the writing is actually over like everything. It's like a very smoothly written.
Interesting. Okay, but it's not. It is a language, but none of the languages I know, and is ancient. Okay. Sorry, the bowl of water or something. How big is it? Is it like bigger than? Is it bigger than me? Is the eye bigger than me? Is it huge? How far away am I from it?
The eye is maybe 8 inches across, and the whole basin is maybe 2 feet.
Okay, so it's tiny then. Okay, I thought it was. I was imagining something huge. Okay, never mind. I thought it was big for some reason. Okay, so I want to approach close enough that I can see the eye. I'm assuming that I can look at it. It's not like towering above me, that I can see it.
No,
right?
It's just looking down.
It's like looking down. Okay, so I'd like to approach close enough that I can see it, but not like too close. So maybe just you know, a few feet away from the bowl, so I can see. Are you the entity with whom the Admiral is communing and gaining power?
Yes. But we have been talking for much longer than I've been talking with the Admiral, Maefyre Laughing Spark.
What does that mean?
We have been communicating through your book for quite some time.
So it is you?
Not a perfect conduit, but it has allowed me to communicate with you and your others near you for some time now.
Okay, Maefyre's kind of like, she's not happy. You spoke to me in riddles. Will you now finally tell me who you are and your true nature?
I am Azrael. You might call it a deity, and I exist in a plane beyond your own.
Oh. So you are some sort of deity, is what I said.
My power is comparable to the deities of your plane, but I am not a deity in my own.
So you're not a deity in your own plane. Is that why you desire to come here? This is why I'm told by the Admiral that your ultimate goal is to come to this realm for unknown reasons.
I am preparing the way for my master. who seeks
Your
knowledge
master?
of all things. Yes.
Who or what is your master?
It is a being beyond your comprehension.
Try me.
If you set eyes that are not filtering the correct wavelengths in energy patterns from even mentioning my master's name, your brain will melt. So I act as a conduit, as a harbinger of my master, ensuring that the way is prepared so that we do not annihilate existence before we can harvest the knowledge of this plane, of this area. So my master seeks information, just the experiences, the history, each plane that we travel to has a great wealth of knowledge, but there are preparations that need to be made so that we do not cause disruptions. So my goal is simply to prepare the way for my master.
Your master seeks information, knowledge. What is it
Yes.
exactly? Do you know? I'm just confused here. Your master, you say that you're a deity, you're powerful, but you're not regarded as a deity in your own realm. But if you came here, you would be, yet you are not powerful enough to get here, and you have a master who presumably is more powerful than you, but also can't get here unassisted. So I'd like to know what possibly could have been that powerful want in this lowly realm.
I exist in the void beyond planes, in between existences of mortal creatures such as yourself. That is where my master resides as well. Me and those other servants of my master prepare the way for him to various planes, to various existences, to gather the knowledge of those realms, to prepare the way. My master, in a blink, could arrive into a plane, but his presence would, as I mentioned, melt the minds of everyone who encounters him without being prepared correctly first. So my master, in his endless pursuit of knowledge, and a large portion of that knowledge being the memories, the experiences that the inhabitants of those planes typically retain, ensures that it is safe for him to travel, for them to travel to these realms before my master approaches a plane. So I prepare the way for my master, make sure that the inhabitants of the realm are not going to be obliterated on contact, and that includes all forms of life, all of the trees, the mountains. Existence as you know it unravels in the presence of creatures like my master without the proper protections in place.
So you mentioned other servants and them plural. Who are these others you speak of?
There are others like me, scouting the void endlessly for islands of existence, islands, bastions of knowledge. The equivalent would be a vast desert and dotted with oases every once in a while. We are the travelers exploring the desert, looking for these bastions of water.
So water is a requirement to commune and travel.
You can think of it that way.
Is water required for your existence? I noticed that you're talking to me under a lake in a bowl of water, or via a bowl of water. So I'm presuming that's needed in some way. Do you live and breathe under water like a fish of some sort?
Long ago, when the void was wilder, mortals from your plane made contact with the void and tapped its chaotic energies. This temple where we are talking is a remnant from eons ago, before I existed. I have now found this temple and others like it in this realm, and I'm using them to reignite these channels of the past, communicate with them. Same with the book that you carry. It has residual connections to the void that I can... It feels like strings that I can pull on that allow me to interact with your plane. So I am not near, in any conventional sense, to your plane, but these are the areas where I can pull the string and have an impact on your plane.
Do you desire to come here to, you say, reignite the connection? Do you wish somehow to be worshipped like a deity of old, like this temple?
I do not need to be worshipped.
For?
I am preparing the way for my master. Now, with many conduits such as this, breaking them wider to allow myself through wouldn't be a problem. But it seems this plane is different from the others and is resisting efforts. So while I can pull strings and communicate through what amounts to be small tubes passing through the endless void ocean, I cannot travel through these at this moment. So I'm doing some initial work while I investigate why I cannot travel to your plane.
I see. I'd also like to ask, why is it you sought me out to communicate with me? That day, when I was in a neighbouring town, I felt your call. I felt drawn to that bookstore, to the book. I found it directly, very easily, and was pretty taken aback at the time. Why would you want to commune with a lowly locksmith?
Maefyre, if I thought your potential was limited to that of a lowly locksmith, I would not be wasting my effort communicating with you still.
What is this potential you speak of?
I simply see potential in you. I do not... When I first made contact with you through the book, it was simply like a telephone that hadn't been answered yet. And I was pleasantly surprised to begin to communicate with someone so capable on the other end of it.
Oh, so you wasn't seeking me in particular. You was just dialing numbers. You was just you was just trying to see who was there, who would pick up.
It's different. This conduit existed long before I knew about it. it seems there was something more at play that even I don't understand, where we both started talking at the same time. If I wasn't trying to access this conduit at the same time that you held the book, we would have been two ships passing in the night of the endless void. So something has brought us together that even I don't understand.
I don't understand some things. You seem to be talking in even more riddles and cross purposes, because you said you don't desire to be worshipped, yet the one thing you did that really got my ire is you asked me to throw away my connection to Lord Kellenvor and worship you instead.
Maefyre, Laughing Spark, your religion here in this plane that you exist in right now is tainted, and you have seen that with your own eyes. The conduits of your powers in the gods are intermingled with the planes and the twisting voids and everything in between. Your powers are coming through a tainted lens into this plane. You are unknowingly carrying out the will of the exact gods you claim are blasphemy. Your powers are coming from the corrupt ancient gods rather than Kelemvor in this plane, and you will be continuously pressured by the religious leadership on this plane to follow their ways and to carry out their will. It is almost a certainty that the religious powers of this realm will hold you hostage with your abilities, with your divine strength, and they will cripple you if you do not bend knee to them. The connection you have with your true faith is dwindling and may soon break. If you continue to utilize the powers of these evil gods, will Kelemvor welcome you with open arms when you leave? Atonement is a long and messy process. So when I offered you an alternative, I meant to encourage you to seek out a more reliable source of power with fewer strings attached to it. Me. Abandon the corrupt gods that are leeching off of you and your pure heart. I offer certainty and the means for you to shape your own future with less meddling. I made the same offer to Janus, and I made the same offers with others. When I give powers and abilities, it is done. A complete transaction, no strings attached. So when I offered you in the past the means to sever your ties to Kelemvor, I meant to give you an alternative.
So Maefyre is visibly angered by what this entity said, or what as well as said. How dare you insult Lord Kellenvor in such a way and say that he's an evil god? Where's your proof that I'm not communing with the true Kellenvor? You say all this and throw around these accusations and Maefyre's, she's really mad, really irritated. It's just like she's gonna pop a gasket. Provide me proof that this is going on, and I'm not worshipping the true Kellenvor. Otherwise, I have no obligations to do anything to believe anything you're saying. You're just stating all of this and providing me with no proof.
There is nothing I can say to you that would convince you, because the conduits of power from the divines aren't visible to you or to me. What I see is what I have seen hundreds of thousands of times before. These interminglings of planes and deities and their petty power struggles. I am just relaying what will happen next. You, I imagine, will continue to seek out the religious leadership, and you can perhaps commune with Kelemvor directly and see what he has to say. If his voice is weak and distant, and you hear someone else closer to you, think of what I have told you this day.
Well, it's extremely convenient that you can't provide me any proof. I would like to know. I would like to know how I'm not communing with the true Kelemvor, and if that is so, and you say there's how did you put it? It's tainted, or there's something in the way. How would I dispel? How would I even know? Because from what you're saying, there's no way of me knowing that. I wouldn't know unless you had told me, and there's no way of knowing, and there's nothing I can do about it. So that being the status quo, and I can change nothing, I don't understand how there's anything any different.
There is a spell called Commune that allows you to contact your deity directly.
Right.
You do not know it yet, but if you can find a scroll or some other way to cast that spell, you can confirm this yourself. Or perhaps you can, working with these religious leaders in this land, you will start to see they'll begin to make requests of you that violate your convictions of Kelemvor, and instead follow the more ancient roots of the gods of death that Kelemvor took power from.
It is true that since I've been in this land, I've learned that there is a very, very, very blasphemous leadership here, and they claim they are the Church of Kelemvor, but I know that they cannot be. That part is true, and they seem to be part of a sect that may perhaps predates current teachings. Those teachings are blasphemous, and they were thrown away for a reason. So it is true that exists. Now, as so far, they have asked nothing of me, and really have not come to really do much of anything, except for I'm aware that they they exist. They have done nothing so far. I, as one lowly cleric, can do nothing to stop what they're doing or their practices.
I will be here when you're ready.
I will find a way to get this spell you speak of. It's not a spell I know, so it would be quite an arduous task to find this spell, to be honest. But if what you say is true, then, and I'm not able to currently commune with Kelemvor, and there's tainted lines, or however you put it, then this spell should confirm that. I will try to get this spell. Now, something I would like you to do is I would like you to remove this figment I have as part of a incomplete ritual that your devoted admiral performed and tried to drown 7 others. By the way, why was you doing that?
Granting you one of my scales makes you almost impenetrable to the weapons in your plane, allowing you to be a more efficient pallbearer for existence.
Are there side effects to this? Apart from being somewhat unsightly?
There are none. I was not expecting there to be 2 additional people, thus the transformation for the captains and yourself and Janus was incomplete. So if you want to reverse the process, just touch the water in the well and I will undo it.
I would like to know why this was being performed without the captains knowing. They thought they were drowning. They were preparing to drown, and that's why I and my comrades tried to rescue them.
I needed them to be in the water for a period of time. It is hazardous to life, I would say. The Admiral I have a stronger connection with, and so she was not affected by the water, but the Admirals I needed a bit of time. But I was confident that even if they mingled briefly with death, that I would be able to revive them. There was perhaps more discomfort than I expected, but there was never any danger for anyone.
And you might have told them that. They were in extreme distress. And they thought they were drowning and, well, almost did drown and swallowed a ton of water.
I can be a bit of an abrasive presence, so introducing myself and providing a boon was a very easy way to make my intentions and my powers in my presence known to all of the pirates quickly and somewhat smoothly.
Huh. It didn't seem very smooth to me. You say that this scale that I have makes me stronger?
Yes. Any weapon that strikes my scales that isn't magical will not do any damage to you.
Aww.
If the transformation was complete, you would be nearly immune to non-magical attacks.
Oh. Well, maybe I'll hang on to it for a bit. Though I have to keep this covered up. Well, you haven't really provided me, honestly, any of the answers I thought of, I was seeking. Well,
I've answered every question to the best of my abilities. I don't know how I can do anything else.
you've answered me with a bunch of I don't knows. You don't seem to know anything.
I know more than most. But
Finally.
I don't know as much as my master. And I certainly don't know I've never claimed to be omnipresent.
No, clearly you're not, since you communed with me via a book. What is it then you truly want from me then? Because you found a connection with me via the book, and you did ask things of me, and now we're able to speak directly. You can tell me what
As I
that is
said,
exactly.
For me to arrive in that realm, this channel, this conduit that we are communicating in needs to be larger.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes a tremendous amount of effort and energy to do. All of the energy I've been pouring into it, which normally opens the conduit, is being turned away and rejected. And so what I am looking to do with the people that I've contacted in that realm is to find out who is stopping me and taking them out of the picture.
It's very confusing. You say this is happening in other realms, or is it happening here as well?
In other realms, there have been resistance in some situations, but this is unlike other realms. There's something very powerful holding these conduits to this plane sealed.
This plane? You mean where I am?
Where you are.
Oh. Well, maybe it is that entity I mentioned to you before, that Bubble the Saga says she's holding at bay. She said something very powerful, and she herself was powerful in her own right. But I think it's something more powerful than her. But I don't know what it is. So maybe it's that.
Do you know where this Lysaga is?
I do know where she normally resides, or where I met her, yes.
This whole time you've been talking, this voice has been just crystal clear in your head, like there's someone talking to you from the well. This is the first time that the voice is there's a little bit of a heat to the voice. It's a little bit loud, like someone's yelling a little bit rather than just talking. Where is Lysaga?
Well, I know where she is, but you seem a little interested in her. You used to be before. You said you had no idea who she was, and I had to explain.
If she is the one holding the conduit closed, I need her removed.
Well, that's not the way she explained it. She just said there was some entity or something that was trying to take over, or something. She was quite cryptic too, and she said that she was trying to hold it at bay, but maybe wasn't fully succeeding. I don't really know. But
I am continually attempting to expand the conduit, and she is continually attempting to resist. Tell me where she is.
I'll tell you where she is if you cooperate with me. Maybe we can come to some agreement.
There's like a chuckle, just like, what do you want?
Well, what I would like myself, my comrades, and the pirate band, if they wish, to be able to leave here freely without any penalty.
When the conduit to the void is opened, I can take you to the void and take you to any plane that you desire to go to.
Well, I can't speak for the Admiral, but where I'm from is not another plane. I merely travelled here in a cart.
There's another plane connected to this one somehow? Interesting.
I'm very confused. Like I said, I travelled in a cart, and I was looking for work, and I came to this town where everyone is well, they're frozen, they're turned to stone, and well, needless to say, there was no work there, but it was you're the one who drew me to this town and encouraged me to go. You were the one who said you was going to offer me power. You said you was going to make me stronger. That's yet to materialize. So this is why I don't trust you. I never did.
Tell me where Lysaga is, and I will give you anything that you desire.
I told you what I desire. Also, to turn those people back back to life. Remove that curse over the town. That too.
I cannot remove that curse. There's an object still present in the town that needs to be removed to remove the curse. And as I said, I don't have a physical presence there to do it myself.
You're definitely not as powerful as you claim.
Tell me where Lysaga is, and I will show you my power.
You're very keen for me to tell you that, which is why I want you to show your hand before I will give you that information.
I've promised you safe passage out of this realm. What more do you need to see?
You've promised me that, but that's something you want to deliver after I've given you the information. I want a show of your power right now before I will do anything.
What do you want?
What do I want? The things I want, you say you can't do. So, give me something else. Make me powerful enough to go against that blasphemous heathenist church and its blasphemous heathenist leadership.
Mm-hmm. I will make a pact with you now. If the church, if your connection to your deity wavers in any way, I will immediately intervene and fuel your abilities myself. So that if the church tries to exert any pressure over you by holding your abilities or powers hostages, you will not have to worry about that.
Okay.
And as for power now, how about I give you a spell slot? Just take one additional spell slot of your highest spell slot.
Fine,
and I will
done.
fuel one of your abilities with that.
Done.
I must go now.
Okay. Well, I will guide you.
The Admiral will escort you back to safety. Where is the Admiral? Or sorry, where is Lysaga? Or would you like to? I am okay to wait for Lysaga's location if you wish to first take down the church, and I will help you with that.
That is definitely the order of what I want to do things. I want to take down that church. I will guide you to the saga. Since you've been communicating with me via the book, then I suggest we continue to communicate via the book, and I will, with my party, travel to where the saga is, and I will guide you there via the bodies of water along the route.
The voice in your head feels happy. Agreed.
Okay, done. And I'll keep these scales for the time being. If I don't find it to my liking, I want them removed, but I'm going to keep it for the time being.
The eye blinks closed, and you feel the voice in your mind retreat. The admiral, feels this too and says, like, "Are you ready to go? I'll take us back."
Yes, I'm quite ready.
The dark silhouette waves to you from the side of this bubble as the admiral kind of walks back towards the shore. As you get close, the admiral twists a ring, and the pass without trace is cast on you again, and you re-emerge from the water. The sun is low in the horizon, just like the black sky is turning to gray.
Mm-hmm.
And you're able to rejoin your companions. The admiral heads back to her fort and just gives you a hand wave.
I just nod my head and saunter off.
Please tell me you stomp your foot like a rabbit.
Like a rabbit. I just
You're
turn.
a little halfling.
I just turn heel and I just.
Chef, just a quick question about the armor. Do I still have it, or do I have it now?
You resisted it.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is like I resisted it, but said that I had some sort of power from this entity. So what do I have?
Eldritch touch. And it can
you have a lot to catch up
directly
on.
to you.
Sorry, one more time. Cari's talking.
Janus is Eldritch touched now, and the entity can communicate directly with Janus.
Okay. Oh, he doesn't need the book.
As with all things, if you want something, just ask. And then I think we could, if everyone wants to mark a long rest, we can call a break and then figure out what we're doing next.
Okay.
Is Maefyre the only person that actually knows the entity's name?
I don't think so. I think a few of you know it.
Okay. I'm just hard keeping track of who knows what with all the mini combos. So.
Yeah, you should see my notes about who knows where Lysaga is. All right, well, let's take a break. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
Okay.
8 a.m.
Okay,
here.
thank you. Hey, I am, good lord. Okay.
We'll be right back.
BRB.
Goldy, you're muted if you're saying anything.
Shit, I was talking the entire time. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I'm still
There's
not there.
There's a few messages going on in the chat.
Okay.
about,
so what's happening there is that me and Cari didn't want to interrupt Jodie, so we were cheerleading in the background for her the entire time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just saying that, like, I'm at the point where like I still haven't joined the group, and when I join the group, like, hey guys, I got all this information, but about 2/3 of the information has been already given to them. So I'm like, all right, I tried my best.
Yeah, it was. It's tricky when people want to have individual conversations like this. So it's trying to give everyone the same information quickly. So I also assume that when you guys meet and talk, some information is shared, but not everything. So you need to be careful about what your characters know and what the party knows.
Jodie. Ah, she's muted.
She's not here. Since
She lied. Only Camilla can lie. Sorry, I didn't mean to introduce. Only Camilla can lie. She said she told us she got that book from her grandma.
Oh, for God's sake. I was gonna say, Chef, since
Chef walked away.
you walked away. All
I'm
right.
so sorry, Goldy.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm having a
sorry
good
about that.
time.
I've been having a good time with
that
memes.
was fun. Like, I really just wanted to say
Where
out
is
loud,
she?
loud to Jodie, like, no more, get. Why are you settling your British for the love of God? This is not how we do things.
At least
haggle.
represent us properly.
You're supposed to haggle. Like the joke, like pound of something, like pound of fish, pound of banana, whatever. It's like, yeah, that's what we do. Haggle down. One spell slot. How about 2? How about 3?
What was it?
Spell.
Well, you know,
1 pound. Fish.
outsourced was like, Rajiv was like, what do I look like? A tourist? Do I have a fanny pack?
Did you not have a fanny pack at that current point?
No.
Okay. I'll do not remember. There's a same possibility that you in fact do look like a tourist. Oh my goodness. When Chef comes back, I'm just gonna ask, since I've been tailing you guys. Oh, okay, Chef's back. Hey Chef, can you hear me? Okay, good. Chef.
Yeah.
So, just a small bit of a funsies, since I saw the group and was telling them just to make sure that no one else sees that I'm with you guys, could it be the fact that everyone went back to have a long rest and I just slipped into my room, slept, and no one realizes that I'm there with them? Just have that play out.
You can do whatever you want.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, it'd be a bit of fun.
I think the right way to phrase that is you can try to do whatever you want.
It's a possibility, not a certainty.
Mesh, you haven't been restreaming Barovia, right?
No. I'm considering it though now that my PC is better.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I was, if all the clips are obliterated from Rob's channel, I'm running about just setting up something to download them all through VLC.
I have an update on that. While Maefyre was talking, I did a little bit of a link, and they will be able to go upload on my YouTube page.
Nice.
I have the first of what was salvaged from the initial deletion for Icewind Dale, which is episode 51, or session 51 rather. So that one is already on YouTube. It's just private. And then I started 52, but it just won't go through. So I'm not sure what's going on. I might have to like try to re-upload it. But I have a decent system where I saved the info for the descriptions and the tags, so I can go through one by one and try to upload them all. That said, I talked with Cari in a brief DM, and just as a possible pitch for maybe traction to get a consistent upload, I'm thinking of doing like our old campaigns, the old videos, and upload them like twice a week. So like Wednesdays and Saturdays or something, and just have them on a schedule from private to public, and then keep them in a playlist, and then just go through those one at a time, and then eventually it'll get to another game, and then another game, and then eventually Barovia will catch up. And then if those things are going twice a week with how many hiatuses we take, or weeks off that we need, eventually it'll all catch up, and then it'll go to just moving them over one week at a time. What do you think?
I like
Is
the
that-
idea.
Was that just all of us? Wasn't sure.
This is to anyone, yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I mean, I could also just like upload them all, make sure they're all done, and then just like mass go boom, and then they all just go up at once. But I feel like most people's feeds that are gonna have subscriptions to my channel, the 5 people that there are, is gonna be like, what the fuck's this?
What in the non?
Anything more than a daily upload's gonna be a chore, and if I do daily uploads of like 3-hour VODs, no one's gonna have the time for that. So I feel like once or twice a week is probably the best format to kind of re-upload stuff.
I'm checking my
Yeah.
ones.
What else? The other thing I was thinking is that, when Mesh has his streams, then we have 2 different perspectives. And then, what we're streaming for these games is just Discord, no map or anything. So I was wondering,
Oh, there's been maps.
would it be more
When there's combat maps, they're up.
Excuse me.
more palatable if someone went through and edited? So that's what I was
Rob,
thinking. I might download what we have for Barovia
Uh-huh.
just to think about it doing
Okay.
it one day.
I have sessions 16 to 38 of Rhyme.
Okay.
Oh, awesome, man.
I might be able to give Mesh access to my YouTube through an editor login? Question mark? Maybe we can figure that out, Mesh?
Okay.
I don't know if that's a thing or if I just have to give you access to my stuff, and then like when you do things like I have to do 2-factor authentication. I don't know how to do that, but I'm sure that there's better systems that people know how to log in and do certain things. Like they have editors for YouTube, so I'm sure there's some sort of system in place for that.
I'm missing 34, 35.
You might
29,
be able
30.
to. Mesh might be able
I'm
to
also missing the
upload-
very first session of this because I think it was
Offline.
I recorded it and we did the video, but what happened was my audio was fucked up, so it was only my audio for that VOD.
Hmm.
So if you have that VOD as well, Mesh, that's also great, but I think your computer was down for that one.
Yeah, I was done.
So yeah, unfortunately we missed the opening for this one, which kind of sucks because that's the best one usually. Those are the most viewed ones because once people start stuff.
20, 24, 34, 35. So I'm missing 6 episodes from the batch I have saved.
I also have all of the sessions from the Desert Disaster, and I have all of the sessions from Wildmount because there's only like a
epic
handful
deaths.
of those 2. Like there's not that many of them, so I have all of those.
We died quite gloriously, didn't we?
Oh, I
Some of
do
you.
see the video storage bar now on my
It's fucking
dashboard. Yeah.
terrible, man.
Oh my god, I'm already at 71 hours and I'm out of 100 and I'm like
I checked,
have
we're
only,
at
like,
570 hours of VODs that I have to transfer.
that is
I can't
brutal.
imagine what like professional streamers.
Like
are.
imagine that I had 570, but it wasn't
day.
like 3-hour VOD increments. You know what I mean? Like imagine those VODs were like an hour or like half an hour or like 15-minute segments that were just saved in highlights over the course of like 10 years of streaming. That would be fucking terrible.
So I'm back now.
Wow.
I will be honest. My legs are not in good shape today.
Oh,
So I don't want to go too much longer.
okay,
mostly
no
just-
worries.
I
Thank
think
you.
all we would need to do is just reconnect with the group, share any information, figure out where we're going next, and then maybe we can roll for an encounter, and that's all. Unless someone
Okay.
wants to do something more adventurous.
So we need to reconnect and decide next steps. Is that correct?
Is this the next Is it now the next morning?
It's the next
Yeah.
morning. Maefyre, you're a
Okay.
little bit tired compared to the others.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like walk up to everyone. And go, how did everyone sleep? Despite not actually meeting up with you guys at all.
Well, I was up pretty much most of the night until the sun started coming up again. So I'm kind of knackered, but I don't know. Maybe it was worth it. I communed with that entity that the Admiral is so enamored with.
Oh yeah. I didn't see you leave.
Well, she cast a spell, and without a trace or something. So she cast a spell, and I was covered by the spell and was able to sneak out. I guess she didn't want anyone knowing what she was doing.
All right.
And we went somewhere underwater, and then there it was. Well, not in person. It says it can't come here. And
Sounds like a good thing.
All right.
I spoke with it and didn't get too many of the answers I was looking for. So at this point, to speed things up, I'm just gonna convey the just say I conveying the general, the main points of what happened.
So we all
when I
know now
spoke.
the name of the entity.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm going to add in Janus.
Yeah.
Since you seem to have since you now seem to have a direct line to this entity, I would ask that you do not tell it the location of Baba Yasaga, because I think that is the only thing we have over it at the moment, the only leverage we have.
Well, I hate to say it like this, but it sounds like it wouldn't have had the information that Baba Yasaga was trying to actively go against it if you hadn't just shared it willy-nilly with this entity.
Well, yes, but to be fair, I didn't know where the line of questioning was going, and I honestly did my best to try and get information out of it, but I guess it got some from me too.
That's exactly how these things go. These things are full of hubris and think that, you know, they can dictate the discussion to themselves, but the difference between this entity and the other peoples and or beings that we've discussed is that they're actively searching after knowledge, right? And so anything is on the table for what they can take from you. And the second that we cease use and function for this entity, we're dead. And so I ask, not as your captain, but as your friend and compatriot, is just a little extra caution dealing with this character. And I will be at your side in order to assist. But we cannot be going off on our own anymore after today. We've got to be together on this as a group.
Yeah, I'm sorry about
We've got
that,
you.
but
It's not
really
anything other than that
pressing
we think that the captain might have just put you in a position that you did not want to be in, and got something out of it for the entity. So she's probably going to be rewarded for it. The entity got what they wanted for it, but we got nothing. So they have the upper hand at the moment. But thankfully, Lasaga's not the only strong kid on the block, as it were.
Oh,
So.
really?
This is not meant to be a lecture. We're all friends here, okay? We just got to make sure we have each other's back moving forward. And as long as that can happen, we're not beholden to anyone. I've already given the entity what it asked me to do, which is to give lip service and or say yes to the captain. And that's all it asks. And as I've heard with the story you've given us, that entity is not a continuing pact. It is just a contract by contract basis. And I'm already done with that.
Yeah, seems to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. I did act rather selfishly. I had my own selfish motives, and that was to remove the scales, which in the end I didn't opt to remove, since, well, the entity claims that they cannot be penetrated by any normal blade.
Yeah, well, as much as we know, Lasaga's the only
burden.
thing keeping it at bay. Unless there's other
Yeah.
entities that are also doing that. But so far, she claims to be the only one that's doing that.
Well, she said she was keeping something at bay, but presumably,
Who else?
you know, from
Or what else, rather?
Yeah, from what we know now,
Yeah.
it must be that.
So we need to figure out if there's any other players. I think that's the biggest question that we have while we're trying to go do all these other stupid chores for everyone and do our own problems and deal with our own problems. If there's any other players in here that can help us out or have their own agendas, anything to muddy the waters can certainly help. Mesh has provided some information about the captains by now, I'm guessing. This is Rob asking.
I would say I would have just come in the morning. I would have spent the night there, and then now I would have been divulging the information about the captains.
You got that flask, perchance? I can throw up my kit.
Yeah. Yep.
Thanks.
Flask.
Yeah, just as a kind of a loop for all of y'all. I've talked with Meshadieme a little bit about this and Chamilla, kind of between the two of us, but I think it's best to kind of keep you all in the loop, especially Grim, even though, you know, Dally's not here. If you guys can get an upper hand in a deal, in a discussion, or in a fight with something that's stronger than us, or at least on par with us, getting their blood is going to probably be key. Mesh and I are both alchemists, and we can deal with that sort of thing. I actually would appreciate a look at it from all angles. We have two divine practitioners, one for the, what is it, the Angry Maiden, or the Rage Queen, whatever the hell her name is, Renok?
Rage Queen, yeah.
Renok, what's the
Mother
Rage? Rage Mother, yeah, that one. So if there's anything with the Rage Mother, I've gotten the leader's blood and studied that and came up with some results I've already shared with y'all. Maefyre, if you can get any sort of blood from that bone bag later on, I don't know how you're gonna get it, maybe someone else. That can certainly help. Chamilla, you've got a different eye on the whole thing as a vampire. And Mesh, as an alchemist, you have some of the same capabilities as I do, but kind of separating Hemicraft out. I'm the only one that can deal with that. So, as a team effort, let's start getting some blood and get the vitality of that thing kind of studied and studied up on, and maybe we can get an edge on the vampires and start knocking things out one at a time. I will tell you all, there's one extra thing as your captain that I'm going to tell you when it comes to threats. This is the double-edged sword of having this many entities here. The more threats there are, the better it actually ends up being to keep the entity away. As Raw is having a problem because of one, maybe more of these entities that are squabbling to keep them out, right? The second that one pin falls, it's going to be like a deck of cards. Because once the power balance goes astray, it becomes easier for each of the others to kind of rise to power. Because that's one less leader that all of them have to deal with. Does everyone understand what my meaning is? So the second that the power balance goes out, if we're not strong enough and that entity gets an upper hand, we're toast. As is everyone else. So the power balance is actually very important, so that once we decide if we're going to be that, how would you say it? The X factor, the whatever, the catalyst for the product, if to use an alchemist term. The second that we knock over a single domino, all of them are coming down. really, really quick. So we got to be ready for that. So building allies and setting up the mutiny is kind of a good way of kind of like stress testing something similar, because the mutinies are going to go a similar way if that's what we want, right?
Hang on, what mutinies?
That's what Mesh was talking about. The captain.
I gave you the names of the captains who were.
Oh, okay.
So like if we get a couple of them in a power balance
yeah.
imbalance, then they take down the admiral. That whole thing goes to shit, right? That'll go quick. Then it'll be like a double domino effect. We have the domino effect internally within this kind of captain pirate community going down. Then if the admiral falls, then that admiral and anything outside that wants her gone is flipping some sort of power balance, right? So we got to figure out which power balance to take out first.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
Exactly.
Which
here we are.
Would be the most advantageous, advantageous, and the least dangerous, because, as I mentioned before, that entity, what's it called, Ashral, said that its master merely coming here would fry the brains of everyone and kill everybody, and
yeah, but even it says that it doesn't want that to happen, right?
It says it doesn't want that to happen, so its intention is not to kill us. Presumably, it could have done that already.
Yeah, it's like an occupying army thing, but instead of an army, they just want to take the knowledge and the memories and the emotions and whatever else the fuck they can take from this place after the way is prepared. It's too vague for us to figure out what the hell that is. All we know is that it sounds wrong.
Be alive to do that. That's why they don't want to kill everybody.
I think
they have
one of the things
welfare in mind, though. I will say that.
One of the things I do want to do before we kind of tip the scales again is I do want to go talk with the angel. I think that they can provide some additional information if we feed them some info, like we've done to the entity. That might be helpful.
Do you mean that nobody thing?
No, not nobody. The angel over by Vallaki, the remnants of Vallaki.
Oh, that thing.
Can you kick us over to the world map, Mesh or Chef? That would be helpful.
Of course.
Janus.
Yeah.
What
Guys,
did you?
I am so sorry. I don't think I can continue.
No worries, Cari.
No worries.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I'll listen from the other room.
It's okay, Cari. We'll be done soon.
Thank you. This has been lots of good information. Thank you for your hard work.
Sure.
Have a good sleep.
Okay.
More than happy. Bye, Cari.
So do we want to go back to Barovia first and then work our way from our initial stuff? Like what was the thing that we were chasing in Barovia?
We have the oil to heal the curse.
Yeah.
I think we should just take care of that. It seems like a one and done thing and then move from there.
And use that as a leverage to get one of the other captains on our side.
If we lift the curse, who is that also good for? That's the question.
This whole encampment would have another source of trade and commerce.
And they would be indebted to us, so we would have some kind of allegiances there.
Did Krezek say if we could cleanse that area, if there would be anything for us? Bishop.
Yeah, he would have a better standing with the admiral, or whoever we try to keep as the negotiator for both parties.
Renok, what does the Rage Mother want for you?
She wants me to kill possible candidates that will ascend, which include none of them was actually named, but we surmised that it would be Strand, the Admiral, Senator Havenlight, Baba the Saga, and Xavier. I've forgotten his name.
Driscoll.
Driscoll. But we don't know if they are them and how many there actually are in total.
Similar power of Strahd, yeah.
But to be clear, it was a choice. I get to choose whom I kill, and there's no indication whether it's right or wrong.
Understood.
So there's that.
So, what has stopped us so far from getting an audience with no one?
We haven't tried to do it.
To be fair, fear is, I think, the primary thing. But that's it.
We were mobilized by fear.
There was another stray quest in Barovia from Remus A. Tynan to extract some money from someone who did not pay him. So I pasted the information that you would have gotten about that from Remus in chat as well. It's different from Vraskantos.
Who's Remus?
The mouse.
The rat.
Batman.
That's the rat's
Remus
name.
A.
Okay,
Tynan.
got it. The rat.
He had a name? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that was his name. Or
Okay,
maybe he did say that.
so
I
the
don't
two things that
remember.
are unturned stones that we kind of found is a mini dead end.
Thank you.
Actually, I think there's three. One is the rat getting money from someone in Barovia. The second is to figure out who the fuck these witches are that cursed the vineyard, right? And find them and figure out what the next thing is that we can do about the vineyard. Because we're supposed to execute somebody that's responsible, and if they're already dead, I don't know what to do. So it's possible that I might need to just revisit Remus and talk to him about what we found out and figure out what the next steps are to the deal. And third,
Vraskantos is in town too. If you wanted to.
yeah, we might just want to
squeeze him
talk
for
with Vrask right
information.
before we leave and then go to Barovia. That might be decent.
Mhm.
But I thought we had asked him everything and he just didn't give us enough info.
Janus.
Didn't even talk with him.
One thing,
talk?
Janus. What
I have whole
was
notes
your
on talking with
deal-
him.
What was your exact deal with the entity? It just asked you to agree with it in exchange for what? Did you get anything out of agreeing with it?
We didn't die.
Okay, so
There was something else for you, Janus,
Fair.
and I will send it to you.
I believe the other thing was that we can
Being
just do whatever
touched.
we need to do, and they're going to help us take down the Driscolls.
right. Okay.
Well, that was a promise to Chamilla, who did not seem so interested in that.
Okay.
Oh, there's.
Did I not write this?
I never
swear
got
wrote
anything
this.
then.
Okay, I'll send it to you. I have it written down someplace. I just need to find it.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then
that
the
seems
last thing is going back to Krezik and talking with the proprietors of that inn. But we're not exactly welcome there at the moment, so that makes things hard.
We can't go back there.
We might have to give it a bit more time before we return, but we do need to go back to that inn, I think, for some additional
Don't
info.
forget about what happens a bit. And
All right, Janus, do you want the information about no one that you were promised?
If it's already written, it might be good to send it and then just say it, and then we can maybe close with that for today. But I think
Okay.
I'm just gonna presume this. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong. Talk with Antos one more time. Head to Barovia. That's like next step. Yeah.
I don't know if we ever want to do this. The hags that killed Mesh, are they a threat that need to be dealt with in any
Huh?
capacity?
They don't exist.
Don't they? Okay.
We don't know
I
what
don't know
happened
the
to them
time.
or the ones that made a deal with the vineyard. We just know that they're not there anymore.
I asked the book about the hags, and he said the book said
They died long ago.
something that, yeah, something like that. I don't know exactly the word.
I vaguely
but yeah.
remember that.
Okay.
but could be
That's
lying. We don't
Are you
know.
guys okay with doing the Barovia thing and then talking with Vrask, and that's about it?
Yeah, I think that's most of the natural progression. Yes.
Maefyre, was there anything else that we're missing here?
I was going to say something. I thought my bloody was now.
We also have the water that we can transport via if we need to go places quick.
I got something out of talking with that entity. I will say this though. Be very cautious. I mean, I'll just reiterate what Janus said. This is probably more powerful being than we even initially thought, and I tried to haggle with it. I did. But even I was really at a loss at some of the things it said about killing Vaughns and so on. So I need to ascertain whether that stuff's even true. It could be feeding me a mix of the truth and lies. I don't really know.
Yeah. We got to keep a monitor on your powers as well to make sure that nothing else is going haywire.
Well, it said it gave me some stuff. I will have to see whether that comes to pass. Yeah.
Yes. The golem. Can I patch it up through healing, or would it need more physical things?
Needs more physical repairs.
Okay.
Alrighty, well, that looks to be about it from our discussions
Do I have
for
the
today.
total HP number from the damage it took?
I'm sorry, I still don't have a stat
Um,
block for it.
Also, okay, remember all the
I'll-
information I got.
I'll add that to
from
the
room and
do
such
notes.
was also given to everyone. Just
Sorry?
keep it the information that I gathered from all the captains.
The captains,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Chef.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming that we
okay.
have that now then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
was gonna
disperse
say,
the
but yeah,
knowledge
it's
that I
just
had from the Admiral's meeting as well, just to make things nice and even.
We convened and had a lunch conference
well, breakfast surely.
or breakfast
Definitely.
conference.
A good old pirate brunch.
Did you know about that, Captain? Yeah, something like that.
Now, if we're all halflings and gnomes, it would be second breakfast. But
I don't
Well, we
think.
could at least do the practice.
Maefyre
Don't
probably
have
had
to be
second
late.
breakfast and then joined us for brunch.
I did.
If I have second breakfast and then I have Maefyre second breakfast, will that be a third breakfast? I wouldn't mind.
Well, it's still called second breakfast, but you would count 3, I suppose.
I'm okay with that.
Janus, the voice in your head says, you asked for information about no one in exchange for your allegiance, so here it is. No one is an abomination created by the Angel of Vallaki. It is a fusion between a mortal and a demon that was lurking on this plane that granted this creature absurd amounts of power with little control.
Oh.
The demon that was fused has a brother who is in the cells of the Driscoll Manor. The demon's brother will likely want revenge and will know more about the powers that no one possesses.
Okay, so our first target is the Driscolls.
Yeah.
And probably the wine, the guy making the wine for them first, and then the Driscolls.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
I'll share that with the group, and then we'll call it a meeting for today. We'll pick up on this when we have everyone tip-top shape after we talk with Frascantos, head over to Barovia, and then when we camp for the night, we'll reconvene.
Ooh,
Okay.
Aye, Captain.
Got objectives. I
I
like it.
We got to come up with a better salute than whatever the fuck they're doing here.
Huh? What? What's wrong with that?
No.
He's
As long
talking
as
about the
I
other
just want to
guys.
make sure that whatever you guys are doing is different than whatever they're doing. That's all I care about.
Oh.
Who's that?
Yeah, I don't know. You guys can salute wherever the fuck you want, because I'm not gonna take the captain thing too seriously. Whatever.
Aye.
Also, if anyone else is gonna be talking in situations, it should be one of you three. And I point to Renok and Grim and Chamilla, because I can't do that shit. I can lead, but I can't talk. I'm just not gonna beat around the bush very well. And, you know, just schmooze up people correctly for the persuasion or beat the shit out
Oh,
of
you
them
mean
by
like
being
persuasion?
whatever.
I can do that.
I can't.
Persuasion text. Who has high persuasion?
I don't think I've
How I'd like to do that,
one.
you know, just to set the precedent, is if you're with your party and you're like, Janus is like, hey, can you do a thing?
Yeah.
You know, you could just hopefully nudge Grim politely in conversation, say, Grim, could you help me convince, like, that's so you'll get the advantage on the check, and that'll just be you and, you know, Grim roll or something like that. So
Yeah.
I don't want to just like have a problem where only the people that have high charisma ever talk in the party with people outside of the party.
That's
Yeah.
not fair.
I'm fine with having that. It's just like if I'm gonna talk and then I need to like I want the whole thing to be like where both people are contributing, not just like I'm doing the whole speech and then so and so
Yeah.
rolls the persuasion check.
And
You know,
I try to do that naturally with you guys to be like, you know, it's hard when Grim's not here, but
Right.
you know, if two of you are there talking to someone, it works. This
Yeah.
was a little bit of a weird session where there were lots of one-on-ones.
right.
So
Yeah.
So for that sake, like as a player, I'm gonna be pulling the people with high charisma in for discussions because I can't do that shit. I have a 0 charisma, so.
It doesn't make sense though in this situation for like Grim to stick his head into your one-on-one meeting with the admiral.
Yeah,
and be like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
that
a
was
good
fine.
idea. We should do that one.
Yeah.
So
Grim is
Trying to
first,
be
me,
fair.
I'm second, and then Renok and Chamilla
Camilla.
are third.
Yeah.
We
got
both the plus
pretty
ones.
much just me and Maefyre are the ones that suck at charisma shit. That's about it.
Yeah, I didn't make my character to be very good at talking.
Yeah, I went the intelligence route because I didn't even know one else would. So
I don't think I get expertise as a sword locker, so it won't go that high as.
all right, I'm gonna close the stream here so I can go look after Cari and go crash. It's been lovely hanging out with all of you, and Mesh, I will be in touch with you and Chef as well about the VOD situation as much as possible. I want to make sure that I have you guys on a like an accountability thing to make sure that gets done, because that'll be the hardest part. So anyone else can jump on that aspect of it, but as far as the editing thing, Mesh, we got to figure out and sort that maybe tomorrow or Monday or something.
Okay.
Alrighty. All right, love y'all. Stream. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.
Bye everyone.
It is Saturday yet.
Not next Saturday.
Cari says bye. And just imagine her doing jazz.